Now you're reacting to the 7-member girl group CLC and their title track called Me, released in 2019. The song refers to the theme of beautiful me, using the English word me and the same pronunciation of the Chinese character
me,
meaning beauty in a whimsical way. This song with a strong sound and beat, as well as a strongly addictive refrain that reverses as the song proceeds, shows CLC's confident fascination to captivate everyone with their individuality and beauty. The song is composed by Mozpick.
It's happening.
I like how already, there's like the visual element of like the X, like the butterfly. It kind of looks like the character May.
True.
The pretty.
Ooh.
That was really jarring in like the best way.
Yeah. I love that. Like fake us out.
I like that. Sparing.
Not gonna lie, the like first two measures kind of gave me like Miami feels.
Like
Like, I was like,
reggae,
this could
ska.
go, this could go like, and then like the bass dropped, and I was like, here we are.
Ooh, all right.
I like this right here where it's like driving, like.
All right. All right. Let's go.
It's like a nice use of like a fourth sounder right before, like, because you like they drop, like you think it's gonna drop, and then they're like, we're gonna come in on the end of the beat, make you wait a little bit.
And they use that weird like, it almost sounds like a record scratch type thing.
Yeah.
How did they get the stopwatch to go the same tempo as them?
Practice. Practice, kids.
I like their rapper. I think she's very good.
I like how they're like, even with their outfits, they're going through like different types of cultural ideals of like female beauty. So there's like a girl wearing like a hanbok, but at the same time she's wearing like
Militaristic.
military regalia. It's like the combining of like different cultural expressions of like what beauty is.
I kind of wish they always have, for every 3 measures of gritty dissonance, there's 1 measure of normal. I wish they could just go dissonant all the way.
They really like put to the test the idea that sound is just as effective as like, or like rest is just as effective as sound.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, there's a lot of like flat minor motives. There's one that's like da 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 da. I think that's like maybe like a 1 minor 2 or like a 5 minor 6.
Wait.
Every time it happens,
Why
I
don't
hate
we
it
play
more.
music like this? Fuck you. Yeah.
It's just funny, like their outfit changes like shock me.
Yeah.
Kind of like with the music too.
It's very like visually thematic too, because Venus gets like, even the red, like the Chinese character of beauty written in red. Like when
It's like kind of like lipstick on a mirror.
Sort of, but like I was thinking more that in Korea or like in Asia, you only use red ink when you talk about death, or like when you're signing a death certificate. And when they even talk about like 아름다워, which is like a Korean word, I'm like probably butchering that, sorry, which is a Korean word for beauty. It's like, but that's usually kind of like an elegant expression, or like an expression for like elegant kind of beauty. And this is like obviously like not what you would typically consider as elegant, you know, like they're wearing like literal British military regalia, or like European like military regalia, and they're like, but at the same time wearing like their own like cultural.
It's not a passive beautiful. It's like a powerful kind of scary beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's a definite like, maybe it's a nod to maybe like the weaponizing of like femininity as like a powerful weapon.
Yeah.
Redefining what it means to like be beautiful. I mean, obviously they have like all these minor harmonic notions, like the 11th bass. There's like the 5/6 minor bass that like keeps coming back. Da, 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 you know? Yeah, I think there's a lot of like. Sorry, I guess I'm like a very visual oriented person,
Yeah.
but it's like there's a lot of these visual cues that I feel like line up perfectly with the music.
Yeah, I agree.
So what were your favorite moments of that one?
When the bass pushed it forward, I did really like that.
And the big chorus, like da, 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 da,
Yeah, because they had like 1, 2, like they were doing like 8th note pickups, like just like on like the and of 4 and like 4 and. So it was like as soon as you got close to the refrain, they went ba 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 and 4 and then into the refrain.
Oh,
so
okay.
I love that. I love like we're just gonna keep you sparse, and then as soon as we want people to be like pushing for it, like we're just gonna like pull in the bass, and it's just gonna push everything forward.
Yeah.
And then you're ready for the drop, and you're like, what?
I really like how it gives them the opportunity to like really show off how badass they can be. You know, like it's just so strong. Like they're amazing dancers, and like the music is just so powerful. It's really great. I like it.
Yeah, it's like delayed gratification. You know, you expect something, then you don't get it, and then you really don't get it, and then you finally get it, and you're like the whole fact that they delayed it makes you want it more, which is super manipulative. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's hard to talk, but it was just a really cool effect.
Yeah.
I feel like also that's very common in dubstep, at least more common now, you know, because we all kind of expect like what's gonna happen, you know. So just different ways to do the drop is cool. Also, if you notice like kind of the patches that they use in that specific part whenever they get to the chorus after the build, it almost is like it gives the effect of like just like not just all of a sudden everybody dropping out, but literally sucking the sound out, which is probably also why I wasn't like super used to that when I heard it. I was like, whoa, that's crazy, you know. So that's different too. It's like little things that really add a lot.
Yeah, having that industrial vibe, just dun 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 dun, dun with a very nice and elegant verse, and the other verse, and then flexing their sounds, and they're very organic in creating this vibe. I give the song props for being about beauty and having that really nasty industrial drop. I think that's so awesome. You know, it takes a little bit of ugly to make something truly beautiful. That's the philosophy of jazz. Because beauty often is, you know, involves pleasantness. And yeah, virtue and bliss. But this isn't quite virtue and bliss. This is more pummeling and punishing. But as much as I like that, I just wish the chorus could continue the industrial sound for like the entirety of it. But I think by the end, maybe they could have done something different in the second or third chorus by like having that last a little more, because the surprise is given to us. Why not extend it? Why not expand on it? Yes, a song has to be catchy, but I think CLC's pretty catchy in general. They could do a few more. They could use a few more notes on the scale to like maybe a little minor seventh here and there. That would be more to my liking. But
one of the things that I dug was like it. In terms of like the construction of electronic music from a layman's perspective, as someone who just listens and not creates, a lot of the actual building blocks were really formulaic, like pretty standard by the book. But the sounds that they used, the choices that they made in terms of like, okay, well, we want this to sound like this, and we want this to sound like this. We want this to be distorted and gnarly. We want this to be kind of light and floating. We want this to be drowning in reverb. Those choices were very, very calculated. And that attention to detail is the difference between hearing something and wanting to listen to something. Like, that is really important. I thought the video was kick-ass.
So what I really liked is that, like, they were referencing a lot of different art styles. Like, there was, like, the pop art with, like, the bright colors and the circles. And then there was, like, Renaissance art. So, like, Botticelli's, like, The Birth of Venus. And then there was, like, you know, the sort of, like, French... what is it, like Rococo kind of like set, and then there was like there was sort of like the like minimalist modernist like big red swipe on the wall. So they were referencing a lot of different kinds of like art and what was considered like the beauty ideals of those art eras, and then they were also like destroying it and kind of saying like, I decide what beauty is, you know. So I really appreciated that they were like referencing like what historically, like in art history, at least in the Western sense, and like trying to say like we don't have to hold ourselves to that. I thought that was cool.
I'm so hot.
美丽的草原，我的家，